All right, that was Haikyuu, Season 4, Episode 12.
And Tanaka is about to head into uncharted territory of non-unrequited love.
I think that's a good
the
way to
opposite
put it. Yeah.
Of unrequited love.
I love her design so much.
I think what makes it the best is she's a similar color scheme to Kyoko.
Definitely.
And she's super cute.
But she looks very, unique in her own right. I would love, maybe it's the mangaka. I haven't read the manga, but I love the pacing and the way that volleyball and the games are told in this series so much that I would totally be interested in, a girls equivalent, a girls team, whatever school, and, us to follow their journey and their ups and downs because, just more volleyball told this way, but a different spin on it.
We got a taste of that, a slight taste of that with the girls team at Kurasano with Daichi's friends, but and we got that but in a very small dose, and it was a sad moment for them. It was them losing and realizing that this was the end of volleyball for them. And I wanted so much more because I did like those characters from the girls Kurasano team. So I would love to maybe we even, now that we're having reintroduction to this royalty girls team, maybe we do go see her play because of Tanaka. Maybe he wants to go watch her play.
I would be very into that.
Me too. Especially because love. I mean, come on. She's blushing as she waves to him from behind a bush. It's so cute. And he's like, oh, what?
I don't remember her name. I don't have my correct notebook in front of me, but she is awesome, and I would love to see a game of hers. And I hope that both of them continue to win.
And you want her jacket.
And I love her jacket.
Her jacket is great.
I love how high the collar is.
So episode,
yeah. Obviously, we won, and then we got a little bit of a bunch of different teams, including Kenma. Thank goodness that everybody that we are invested in has gotten today too, right?
Yes. I am really proud of Bokudo. He really turned it around, No thanks to anyone else except his own determination.
Just him.
Just him, and he just loves volleyball so much.
I obviously Hinata didn't need to be that last thing to push him. It could,
it just was a perfect opportunity.
And I love that it was because he is so ready to show off and do his best to show his I don't know, his pupils how to do it right.
He likes being an upperclassman.
Yeah.
I think he likes having younger students look up to him. That it flatters him.
Yeah.
And that's really cute that makes him so excited.
I really, I'm glad that we got Bokuto, and I'm, of course, glad that we got Nekoma, because they're one of my favorite teams. But I didn't expect to get so much and really fall in love with Hoshiumi. I really like how he's being utilized, and I like his personality and his gameplay so far. I didn't expect him to be refined, seemingly, at everything on the court, at least from what we've seen.
When we first saw him, just in pure aesthetic visual, I did not guess his personality in the way that it actually ended up.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be maybe a colder kind of Ushiwaka kind of cold personality. Maybe even really confident in himself to the point of thinking he's better than other people, overcompensating in that way. But I really like that he's actually more like a Hinata kind of parallel. But he's like Hinata if Hinata had gone to a school that had a male volleyball team and was able to practice beforehand.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if he had had that opportunity, Hinata would be a lot more well-rounded than he is now. He only got to play with the girls' team by himself, with his couple friends on the basketball team.
Yeah.
Was it basketball and soccer?
And tennis.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah. He did play with a tennis player, too.
One thing that I really like, I'm making the presumption, but you'll see, sweat droplets on Hoshiumi, and like he's doing all these different things. I imagine that it's not just their height that's a similarity. I imagine that they both have the same like crazy amount of stamina, and like he did a billion things before he even got to serve. And I don't know if we've ever seen, forgive me if we have, Hinata serve in quite the same way. I imagine that a lot of it has to do with that vertical and getting that high up, especially to compensate for the fact that you're shorter. But it was so satisfying to see, and I would love for Hinata to be able to serve like that at some point as well.
I wonder if that means that Hoshiumi possibly has a similar lifestyle and or upbringing to Hinata. Like Hinata has the stamina he does, a lot of which because of biking really far to school every day, every morning, and to leave school. Like a lot of exercise and cardio every day, just even other than volleyball.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Hoshiumi had a similar upbringing where he was constantly exerting himself more than the average person every day.
Yeah. In my headcanon, Hoshiumi hates being compared to the little giant because the word little is in there.
Oh, I mean, that would fit. I wonder what Hinata would think about someone being not wanting to be compared to the little giant.
Or he'd be like, who's that? Like something. I'm not sure. I just am really enjoying him as a character at the moment.
I want to know what shirt he got because
the same one.
No. The other player on his team was making fun of him for the shirt he got as they were walking away. And it showed what it was in the corner, and it was not the ace one. It said something different. And so I wanted to read what it said. Because
Hinata replied to it being like,
okay, he bought a shirt that says, "He who laughs in the face of grit will be made to cry by grit."
I like that.
So he says, "I didn't want the shirt to sell out." And the other guy goes, "I'm pretty sure not a lot of people wanted to buy it."
I like it. It's a pretty good shirt. I'm a fan. I'm glad that it wasn't the same one that Hinata got.
I think he was right. It was going to sell out, and he needed to get there right away, even though they were about to play a game. I really am excited about this possible rivalry and learning experience for Hinata to see a true... I mean, like, he's seen the little giant on TV, but that is totally different from being, like, courtside to someone who's a little bit taller than you doing amazing things.
Yeah. Do you want to know why I'm so excited for hopefully them playing against each other? I think that, unfortunately, Hoshiumi's team would have the advantage, but it would be so interesting because both teams practice with somebody who is in that little giant category. They would be able to be used to that kind of play to a certain degree because both teams have to do it within scrimmaging within themselves. But, obviously, like, Karasuno only has Hinata's experience, and if Hoshiumi's a tad bit better, then they wouldn't be used to that vertical height or that, that speed. But
I'd say the only difference is that Hoshiumi is utilized basically almost maybe fully as an ace or a special weapon, but Hinata is still the greatest decoy. So they definitely have different kind of roles on the team.
Question, is Hinata only the greatest decoy because up until that point, like, it's only at the start of this season we've really seen massive growth for Hinata in all other aspects of the game. Like, he kind of had the one trick for a little bit, and that was like being that weapon of speed. But Hoshiumi doesn't need just one trick of being speed because he's well-rounded, and that would potentially make him more than a decoy. I'm not sure what he is to the team, but I am excited, like, because I'm really glad that Hinata's growth wasn't started from seeing Hoshiumi play today. We already had the beginning of that self-growth previous in the season.
It wasn't brought on by seeing someone who was better than him. It was brought on by the feeling of being left out and not by being not invited to either camp. And that's good for him because it was he wanted to be better, even despite not having a direct example of what he was working up against.
I love that Hinata's, like, response to it or observation of it isn't like, wow, that's so cool, that's amazing. Like it's like analysis. Like he like is recognizing that he's able to get over the blockers, and I think that will translate to Hinata, you know.
And then we got a really great middle of the show kind of role of little cats and little owls, and I gotta say it's the best thing I've ever seen. I already loved the crows from previously, but come on,
Kuro and Kenma as cats are something I need like on my wall.
Okay, can we go to the owls so I can see it again too?
Yeah.
And I love that Kenma's sleeping in. Like, come on, Bokuno is a little owl. Like, owls are one of my favorites ever, and I want stuffed animals of like the Bokuno owl.
They have to make them. I guess it does make sense that Hoshiyumi's a seagull. I could see that like within his design.
Actually, think about it. Like for Hinata, the teams that have maybe been the players that have been set up to be the biggest kind of hurdles and focuses of his are birds. Like, we had Shiro Torizawa.
Yeah.
And now we have this person who is on a team where its mascot is a seagull. I feel like maybe that's a theme, that the teams that he hyper focuses on the main player of it are birds.
Yeah. I'm kind of let down on myself, like, about, like, beforehand, because his eyes are literally seagull's eyes. Like, do you see how, like, the shape is?
I know, at first I was like, when we first met him, I was like, why is he not on Fukurodani? But he really has seagull eyes, like, honestly. Like,
the way that, I wouldn't know what you call it, but just the shape and how it's elongated in certain positions. It's right next to the seagull.
It's very realistic.
It's cool.
To real eyes in real life.
But I don't know. I'm liking him as a character. I'm excited to see that going forward. Do you think that will be our next... do you think it will be our next match / or our next big match?
No, I feel like by the look, by Nekoma turning away and Karasuno turning away, and both of them ceasing to smile, I feel like the ending of this episode was setting up that maybe Nekoma might be our next that we have to like go against.
I don't think so.
I just feel like in terms of where they placed teams and our interactions with them.
Oh, gotcha.
And by Kuro and Daichi both turning around, try to survive tomorrow too. Well, so maybe they'll play teams we don't know tomorrow. But I feel like the next big match we'll see, I'm thinking might be Nekoma.
I think like my interpretation from this was like, okay, they're gonna both be playing teams that we don't really focus on or know that well, and both of them need to try to like survive. They have this like fake confidence right now, and then they turn away and they're like, and smugness, and they turn away and they're like, oh my god, we both are nervous, you know?
I think it's unrealistic to think that Karasuno is going to play against all of the teams that we know.
Yeah.
Because I doubt the tournament would be that fixed.
Yeah.
That it would just so happen that they would get to play against all of the teams.
I mean, I wish it was.
But yeah, I wonder who they're going to play next. Probably just another no-name team. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but they are definitely going to be good. They passed the first round, right? Whoever they are.
Whoever they are, they're going to be tough competition. And it's going to be a really fun game.
Yeah. You good? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.
It was brought on by the feeling of being left out. It was brought on by the feeling of being left out. It was brought on by the feeling of being left out.
It was brought on by the feeling of being left out.